Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike. Thanks for jumping on with me this morning. You know, I have a little title that I wrote down for this morning's talk. It's I don't want to. I don't want to. You know, the reason I was doing this is I was kind of playing around with it last night, and that was the most appropriate way to say it that I could think of. I just don't want to. I know what I should do today. I know all these different activities, and if I did them, it would help my business. I know that. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. You know, through my career as an agent, I had a lot of activities like that I knew would be good for me. I just didn't want to do them. They would help me sell more homes, no doubt. But it was really hard to get started sometimes. I mean, the classic sales term for it is call avoidance. But I didn't think of it as call avoidance at the time. I just thought, well, I don't feel like it right now. I'll do it after lunch today. Or I'll do it tonight. Things like maybe cold calling for sale by owners and expired listings. Like, I know that would be good if I did some of that every day, but I don't feel like it. Door knocking, that would help me, especially with my geographic farm, but I don't want to. It's cold outside today. Networking, Lee, do I have to go to this thing and stand around and small talk with all these people today? I'm not in the mood for it. Past clients, yeah, I know I should be keeping in contact on a regular basis with my past clients. I get it. I'll do that tomorrow. My sphere of influence, I should make a certain number of calls through my sphere of influence today, right? Yeah, later. Videos. Look, oh God, here he goes again talking about the videos. I don't want to. I don't look good today. I'm having a bad hair day. I'll do that another time. I know that if I did the thing, I would get the power. But it's just hard to get started. So I jotted down some of the things that I did during my career as an agent in hopes that one of them or more will help you. I don't think they're revolutionary thoughts. They're just things that over 3 decades got my ass in gear when I didn't feel like getting in gear, which I contend is the real difference maker in our businesses. It's not that you don't feel like doing it sometimes. The difference between people is some people just figure out how to get it done anyhow, whether they feel like it or not. So one of the key strategies that I adopted was surrounding myself with the right motivational voices. So I was probably that guy that had the back of his car filled up with CDs. Yeah, I'm old enough to say this. Cassette tapes. Every motivational guru on the planet, I bought their stuff because I needed it. I didn't need it on my good days. I needed it on my bad days. And the same voice didn't always work for me. But I did like people like Tony Robbins, Darren Hardy, Les Brown. They resonated with me. And sometimes, not all the time, but one of the strategies was to listen to them in my car or at home, and sometimes they would get me fired up, and sometimes they would get me to take action. Another thing that I did was listen to what I call competitive voices. Mike Ferry, Brian Buffini, Floyd Wickman, for those of you old enough to remember Floyd. Because sometimes, like, Mike Ferry would have panels of top agents, and listening to other top agents around the country would get me all fired up. Okay? Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I got sick of them, and it didn't work. But it was a trick. You know what another one was? Music. Some music would get me, so I'll admit this, you guys can have a good chuckle at my expense, right? Because here's an old man thing. Bobby Brown, my prerogative. I put some Bobby Brown on, and every little step you take, I'd get it going. And that would get me out of the car or get me on the phone. It would get my heart pumping. It would get my energy up. And then I would have the courage or the energy to start taking the action. And once I started, I was almost always okay from that point on. It was just getting started that was so hard. So music was a way of doing it. Turn it up Whatever it is that gets you fired up and energetic and loving life and having fun, turn it up, get loud with it, have some fun with it. The other tip that I jotted down here, which I found pretty significant, was my term for it is a real estate buddy. Let's do it together. Sometimes having the accountability of having to meet somebody else to do it, whether I wanted to go out door knocking, having another person that I had to show up to meet to do it with me, sometimes made it easier. Sometimes making my calls with somebody else just allowed me to do it. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I go to the gym, I love having workout buddies, because sometimes if I wasn't meeting my workout buddy, sometimes I wouldn't go. Yeah, I know. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of any of these things, but I do think this. I think that we all struggle with this. We all struggle with it. And some of us are shamers. We think that because we don't wake up with a fire in our belly and a motivation in our soul every day, that there's something wrong with us, that we're lazy, or that we're not motivated, we're apathetic. And I'm here to tell you, if you're a shamer and you say things like that to yourself, you're wrong. All it means is that you're normal. You're just a human being, and you have your great days and you have your down days. You have days when you feel up and energetic and the best version of you showing up, and then you have other days where it's a chore. You probably don't need the motivational tips on your great days. But one of the great things about this business is those that can find a way to make themselves be consistent. If you can find a way to manage yourself and get yourself to be consistent, that seems to be the trick in this business. I know everybody's out there wanting to sell you the magic pill. I have never found a magic pill to this business. What I found was, if I can get myself to be consistent, which means getting myself to take action on the days when I don't want to take action, I just don't feel like it, leave me alone. That's the difference maker. So how did I do it? Surrounding myself with motivational voices, surrounding myself with competitive voices. Sometimes just my competitive nature kicks in. Music. Turn it up, get jiggy with it. Or having a real estate buddy that forms some kind of accountability, or maybe all of those things, and maybe you even have other ideas of how to do it. It's not that you feel stuck sometimes. It's what you do about that feeling, how you choose to overcome it, that will make all the difference. Folks, I very rarely wanted to, but I found my way of getting started. Have you found your way? It's not that you get stuck, it's how you deal with that. Those of you that think it's just supposed to be natural, you're crazy. It's not natural. It's what separates people. I hope some of this resonates with you today, and I hope you'll go out there and make it happen for yourself today.